I spent 3 years paying half my partner's rent while doing long distance, only to overhear wedding guests consoling them about having to pretend with their delusional ex for one more weekend while I stood there holding their surprise gift. Jake and I met senior year at Northwestern. Perfect college romance, study dates turning into all-nighters, sharing dreams over cheap coffee, planning our future between classes. When he got the job offer from a tech startup in Austin, I was the one who pushed him to take it. "It's only temporary," he'd said. "2 years max. Then I'll transfer back to Chicago. We'll make it work." I believed him. God, I was so stupid. The first year was actually beautiful. We crafted our digital love story with dedication. Morning texts, lunch FaceTime calls, evening video dates, cooking the same recipes in different kitchens, watching synchronized movies, falling asleep with laptops open. I documented everything. Instagram stories of care packages, his favorite Chicago coffee, Cubs merchandise, homemade cookies. He'd post unboxing videos, grinning like a kid. Our Spotify Blend playlist grew daily, shared photo albums, shared calendars, shared dreams. The money stuff started small. 6 months in, Jake called in tears. "My car broke down. Transmission shot." "How much?" I interrupted. "Babe, no, I wasn't asking." "How much, Jake?" That's how it began. I was making good money as a software engineer. He was building his career at a startup that paid in experience and equity. The car repair led to help with rent when his roommate bailed. Then car insurance. Student loan payments when things were tight. I never minded. That's what partners do, right? By year 2, I was covering half his rent automatically, plus various expenses. He was always grateful, always promised to pay me back once his equity vested, always said he loved me during our nightly calls. Calls that had gotten shorter. And later. And sometimes, "Sorry, babe, team dinner ran long altogether." "You should make friends there," I told him during one weekend video date. He laughed. "Already have. The team's great. Sarah, Mike, Jennifer. You'd love them. They're always asking about you. I talk about you all the time." That should have been my first clue. Happy partners don't need to constantly mention their significant other. Year 3 brought subtle changes. Packages sat unopened in background calls. He'd forget our virtual dates. Instagram posts featuring my gifts stopped. Playlist updates became sporadic. "Is everything okay?" I asked during one particularly distant call. "Of course. Just busy. Startup life." "Actually," he rubbed his neck, "things are really tight this month." I sent another $1,500 without him having to finish. When Melissa's wedding invitation arrived, I saw it as a sign. Our college friend, getting married in Houston, only 3 hours from Austin. Jake had mentioned he was invited, complained about going alone. Perfect surprise opportunity. I coordinated with Melissa. She was thrilled. "He talks about missing you all the time. This will be perfect." I bought a new dress, got my hair done, picked the perfect wedding gift, and packed a second gift for Jake, a watch he'd been eyeing, engraved with our anniversary date. I arrived early, heart racing. Melissa saved me a seat in back where Jake wouldn't spot me. I watched him during the ceremony, sitting with the Austin crew. He looked good, really good. Had he been working out? Cocktail hour began. I was navigating the crowd, gift in hand, when nature called. The bathroom was crowded with women fixing makeup and gossiping. I was in a stall when I heard it. Poor Jake, I can't imagine having to deal with that. My hand froze on the lock. "I know," another voice said. "The ex-girlfriend who won't accept it's over? Still sending him money? That's basically stalking. He's too nice." He said he's tried to cut her off gently, but she doesn't get it. Apparently, she thinks they're still together. Delusional, though I can't blame her. "Have you seen him?" They laughed. My blood turned to ice. "At least it's just one more weekend." He told me he's going to pretend everything's fine when she calls tonight, but after this, he's blocking her. About time. Sarah from his work has been waiting for months. I sat frozen, dress hiked up, holding a wedding gift and an engraved watch for my boyfriend of 3 years. My boyfriend who'd cashed my check 5 days ago. Hand shaking, I pulled out my phone. First, Instagram from my Finsta. There it was. Photos with the crew at bars, concerts, restaurants. Sarah appearing frequently, always next to him. Comments about how free he looked. His reply, finally living my life cool. Then, Venmo. Last transaction, 5 days ago. $1,200 for rent plus insurance red heart love you. He'd hearted the payment. I sat there 20 minutes, rage building. 3 years, thousands of dollars, packages sent with love, virtual dates where I tried to make pixels feel like presents, turning down a promotion that required relocation. And I was a delusional stalker ex-girlfriend. No, absolutely not. I left the bathroom with a plan. The wedding was full of people who knew Jake, but not me. "Excuse me," I approached the bathroom voices. "You know Jake Patterson? He's so sweet. How do you know him?" They talked. About poor Jake, stuck with his situation. How his ex couldn't let go, kept sending money thinking they were together. How he was too nice to cut her off completely. How Sarah had been so patient. "He showed us some packages she sends," one woman confided after her third wine. "It's actually sad. Like, she makes playlists and sends cookies. He doesn't have the heart to tell her he's been seeing other people for over a year." Over a year. I excused myself, started documenting. Screenshots of every Venmo transaction, nearly $30,000 total. Text conversations where he thanked me, said he loved me, promised our future was worth the wait. Recent ones asking for more money. Then I started recording, got more people talking. The groomsman who laughed about Jake's sugar mama situation. The plus one who mentioned Jake brought different girls to every work event. Sarah's friend who giggled about their upcoming Cabo vacation. Finally, since he's almost done dealing with the ex. Cabo, with my rent money. By dinner, I had enough to destroy him. But I wanted more. I found my seat far from Jake's table, told tablemates I was a college friend in town for work. The couple next to me knew Jake from Austin. "Such a fun guy," the woman said, though I felt bad last month at Dave's birthday. His ex somehow found out and sent this huge cookie cake with some desperate message. That cake cost $75 plus delivery. The message: "Missing you from Chicago. Love always." How did she know where you'd be? Right, that's what Sarah said. Apparently the ex tracks his location. Jake had to get a restraining order. A restraining order. While cashing my checks. The rage crystallized into something colder. I smiled, nodded, stored every word. During speeches, I watched Jake charm elderly relatives, dance with Sarah, take selfies with the Austin crew. The best man finished. The maid of honor made everyone cry. The DJ asked if anyone else wanted to speak. I stood up. I'd love to say a few words. Melissa looked confused but nodded. I walked to the microphone, phone recording. "Hi everyone, I'm Emma. Melissa and I went to Northwestern together, where I met the love of my life senior year." I found Jake in the crowd. He hadn't recognized me yet. I'd changed my hair, and he was several tables away. Long-distance relationships are hard. For 3 years I've maintained one with someone I thought was my soulmate. Daily calls, care packages, synchronized movie nights. I even helped support him financially while he built his career. Ripple of AWWs. Jake turned fully, color draining as recognition dawned. So imagine my surprise when I came here tonight to surprise him and overheard that I'm apparently a delusional ex-girlfriend who won't accept we broke up, which is fascinating considering he cashed my rent check 5 days ago. Gasps, whispers, all eyes turning between me and Jake. "Jake Patterson," I said directly. "Stand up." He didn't move. Sarah stared at him, confusion and anger dawning. "No? Okay. That's Jake at table 7. Been telling you about his stalker ex while spending her money on dates with other women, including, apparently, an upcoming Cabo trip." I pulled out my phone, connected it to the DJ's system and played a recording. "Yeah, Jake's got it made. free rent from the ex who thinks they're still together. He calls it his long-distance sugar mama situation. Dude's a genius. Another voice, he said he's milking it until she figures it out. Free money is free money. I let that sink in. I have 3 years of texts saying he loves me, Venmo transactions totaling nearly $30,000. Recordings from tonight of people discussing how he's been lying while dating around Austin. Oh, and apparently filing a restraining order while cashing my checks. Interesting legal strategy. Jake finally stood. Emma, please. The place? The time? You're right. The time was 3 years ago when you should have been honest. The place was any of our 1,000 video calls where you could have ended this instead of stringing me along for money. I turned back to the crowd. I'm sorry for disrupting Melissa's beautiful wedding, but I thought everyone should know what kind of man they're friends with. I walked to Jake's table. Sarah had scooted away. The Austin crew looked mortified. Here, I placed the wrapped watch before him. I was going to surprise you. It's engraved with our anniversary date. The one you've been pretending to celebrate while telling people I'm delusional. I pulled out my phone again. And this is me canceling every pending payment and requesting refunds for 6 months of fraudulent transactions. My lawyer will be in touch. Emma, wait. He reached for my arm. Touch me and I'll have you arrested. After all, you filed a restraining order, right? The reception hall was dead silent, except for phones recording. I walked back to the microphone. To the bride and groom, I'm truly sorry. Your love is real and beautiful. You deserve better friends. I'll be making a donation to your honeymoon fund to apologize. I left, head high, as whispers exploded behind me. My phone started buzzing immediately. Jake calling and texting frantically. Emma, please let me explain. It's not what it looks like. I never filed a restraining order that was a joke. I do love you. I need that money for rent. Please. I blocked his number and drove to my hotel. The aftermath was swift and brutal. The wedding video went viral within hours. Bride's friend exposes cheating boyfriend at wedding. Someone caught everything, including Jake's pathetic chase attempt and Sarah throwing a drink in his face. The Austin crew turned on him immediately. Screenshots flooded social media. People sharing stories of Jake borrowing money, lying about relationships, manipulating situations. Sarah posted a lengthy Instagram story about how he'd told her I was an obsessive ex. Melissa texted apologies, saying she'd had no idea. Wedding guests spent the reception dissecting Jake's behavior. The groomsman who'd called me a sugar mama publicly apologized and revealed Jake owed him $3,000. Jake's startup had a morality clause. Being exposed as a lying manipulator who defrauded his girlfriend went viral enough that his company put him on leave. The equity he'd always talked about became worthless when they fired him. He tried everything. Showed up at my Chicago apartment. I'd moved. Sent flowers to my office. Returned. Had his mother call. I sent her receipts. She cried and apologized. Created fake social media accounts. Blocked and reported. Last I heard, he'd moved back to his parents' house in Wisconsin. LinkedIn shows a gap. The Austin crew posts photos without him. Sarah's dating someone new. I'm in therapy, working through the betrayal. My therapist says I was a victim of emotional and financial abuse. I'm learning to forgive myself. Last month, I got a long email about how I ruined his life, and how it wasn't that bad, and how he really did love me in his way. His way. Taking my money while calling me delusional, planning vacations with others while I sent care packages, turning my love into a joke. I didn't respond. But I forwarded it to my lawyer. I kept one thing, a screenshot of his last Venmo payment to me, not money. Jake never sent money. From our first year, $5 for being the best girlfriend in the world, red heart. I look at it sometimes as a reminder, words are cheap. Actions matter more. Someone who loves you doesn't make you the punchline. And sometimes, The best revenge is simply telling the truth in front of 150 wedding guests. Jake was right about one thing. I was delusional. Delusional to think he was worth 3 years and $30,000. But I'm not delusional anymore. And he's still paying rent. Just to his parents now.